बीती रात मुंबई में हुआ आर्चीज की म्यूजिक एल्बम का लॉन्च, जहां पर नजर आए सुहाना खान, अगस्त्या नंदा, खुशी कपूर और इस फिल्म की पूरी टीम, जहां पर इन्होंने की ढेर सारी मस्ती और दिखाए अपने डांस मूव्स। इसी के साथ साथ दिखा इनका सिंगिंग टैलेंट भी।
So honestly, I think the sound of Archies is so different. The first time Zoya played us the music, it just transported me into another world. Completely different world, a world that she's created with this amazing talent out here. And I think if you just see the kind of talent which is behind it, whether it's Rima and Zoya, Shankar and Loy, who've just done unbelievable work on this one. You have Ankur and all of them. I mean, it was a no-brainer. It was so differentiated, it was so fresh, so beautiful. I think once you see the film, once you see it in the context of everything, you'll realize that this is perhaps one of the finest music I have heard in the recent times. These are some of the finest creators that our country has. I think both Rima and Zoya, every single time, for every creative piece of work that they've put out, I think they've pushed the envelope. So hats off to them. I think we are very fortunate and very excited to be associated with them on this project. And I think it's a great beginning.
60s definitely is my favorite time in music. Such amazing music was being made at that time. Even as a kid, most of the music that I was listening to was from the 60s. So it was just exciting when Zoya and Rima gave me the opportunity, and it was just a dream come true. So two things happened in that. One was, it was the Archies, and then it was 60s. I don't think so there could be a juicier combination. So it was quite exciting. It was not only the 60s, it was also the Anglo-Indian community. There was a lot happening in the Indian music scene. So I would accompany them in their interviews, that they would interview the Anglo-Indians, the musicians from that time, reading what was happening in India at that time. So it was just like going back to school and learning and understanding what was happening. And I was really helped by the amazing screenplay that they had written. So it was easy to just follow the screenplay and just stick to complementing it. So it's very exciting when you make music in the independent scene, you're just working on your own. But when you are working in a movie, you get the opportunity to work with other people. Also observe other people, how they make music. I was, it was an amazing opportunity for me to be in the room with these three masters, Shankar, Ishan, Loy. They're sitting in sequence. It's amazing. And just see how they operate, how they work, I was within a week convinced that they have telepathic powers because they could just do this and things would transform from one brain to another brain into musical notes and things. Just to be around musicians, see how everyone makes music, it's very, very enriching to see how other people make music. And I got the best seat in the house.
I think they're very, very ahead of their time. You know, the thing is, they're very aware of everything that's going on, very aware of cinema, very aware of music. They create people to work with, they create friends, and we all share the same sense of humor, which is really important. And we love to, Zoya's got us addicted to eating chicky in the afternoon, which is another thing that we've gained a lot from them. But yeah, no, we've just had a lot of fun. We love you, Zoya. We love you, Rima. Really, we've had so much fun with you guys.
Well, I remember meeting Zoya. She comes up to me at this party and she says, you know, there's a project that's happening and you guys are the right guys for it. It's a kind of 60s based thing. And so here we are doing Archies and we had such a blast. And her focus is very, very, very spot on. Yeah. When she briefs you, you're there.
बाजू में जो दो जवान खड़े हैं इनके बारे में बात करूंगा इनके लिए 60s का म्यूजिक जो है ना जो कहावत है ना बाएं हाथ का खेल है it comes very naturally to them he just starts playing and a riff comes out he just starts playing the piano and the part is done and she's so easy to work with and she's very focused she knows what she wants and so the whole process is total joy and I'd just like to add that if there's anybody who can create Archies in this country, it is only Zoya Akhtar and nobody else. That's it.
Like he said, it really came to us naturally because, we've heard this music, we've played this music, we've played in bands that have played this music. We've interacted with Anglo-Indians. We have a lot of Anglo-Indian friends who are musicians. So, you have an understanding of the sound, the understanding, like for me, the way the guitar should sound, the kind of riffs. Like literally, that's the way we compose. I picked up the guitar and started playing and he started composing on top of it. And Shankar added in something else. Next thing, you've got a song. And I must tell you a story about the last song, which is the finale song. Loy took a mic in front of him. He played the piano. We hit record. And he composed the entire song in one stretch. There was no breaks, nothing. He just sang the whole song from the beginning to the end. And that was it. So it is very organic in that way.
There's a formula before we started this thing. In order to do 60s music, we got into the studio and we all use hair dye. That's the first thing that we did. I put on a wig and we put on these beads and we.
इस फिल्म का अगर मुझे गाने लिखने हैं, तो I'll have to forget about 80% of my vocabulary.
Yeah.
Because अच्छा, these kids they're just unbelievable. Let's have an applause for the cast of. We watched the film several times. I'm sure that you all are going to enjoy it. So that's what he said. The language has to be so simple because that's what the Anglo-Indian, people they used to speak with bare minimum Hindi, but at the same time to convey what you want to convey. So that was Javadji's reaction, and he's done such a phenomenal job.
Why did I choose to make the Archies? Well, I think the Archies chose me. I owe that to Netflix. I'm blessed that they call me, and this happens to be my favorite comic growing up, and hers. There was no way I'm going to say no.
Firstly, Archies is not really just only 60s. It started back then, but it's over the ages. We chose to go back to the 60s because our brief was to kind of bring out the essence of the original Archies. It's timeless. It's about family, it's friends, it's community, it's all the things that matter. And for Zoya and me, we wanted to connect back to a time in our childhood when we didn't have all the things that kids today have, but it was a time where you felt like less was more. We didn't have all this digital barrage and we didn't have, there was no television even, I think. It was there for like 2 hours a day or something, So we wanted to kind of hark back to a time like that, and therefore the 60s.
You don't go into a project for an actor. You go into a project for a story. And you're going to tell the story. And whichever actors work for that story are the actors that you want. for that project. That's how it works. So when Archies came to me, it had to be, they were 17 in the film, so they had to be teenagers, they had to be completely new. And these were the best of the lot because we auditioned people for 8 months. And these 9 actually, Midge and Moose included, killed it. Well, the only thing that I think was different was, the 2 things were different. One was the time of prep was expanded. So they had a bigger prep time. They had to rehearse more. They had to train more before they came onto set. And the second thing was they're different from those actors because this was the first time. So it was actually the enthusiasm, the joy, the excitement, I kind of vicariously relived my debut through them. And I don't think I've had as much fun and as much of an easy time as I had with them.